Back on the show is Ashlee Evans-Smith, who's going to be taking on Bec Rawlings at UFC 223 on April 7th. Ashlee, how the heck are you?
Pretty awesome. I'm out here in Las Vegas with my best friend, taking advantage of the Performance Institute. Yeah, I'm pretty good right now.
Good stuff. Who'd you end up going to Vegas with? You said your best friend is just another fighter that you went out with?
Carla Esparza.
Oh, awesome. Okay, gotcha. You guys are BFFs. That makes sense. How has it been in Vegas? How long have you been out there?
Oh, we just got here this morning. It's just a turnaround trip. I'm in camp, obviously, so it's just business. We're just doing some testing at the Performance Institute. They do like VO2 max testing. I honestly don't really know what I'm in store for. Some testing, but they also do help with your nutrition, which is hopefully going to help me since I'm dropping down the weight class. Maybe they have some interesting key tips and that kind of stuff. But yeah, then we just leave tomorrow night.
I wanted to start a little bit different here on this interview. You've been doing a lot of interviews. I've been watching your YouTube channel, and you're really good at it. What sort of prompted the idea of going and being, trading in your gloves for, a microphone?
No. No one's trading in anything, first of all. That was something I started after my last fight, and unfortunately I lost my last fight. And since I started doing the interviews right after the loss, people thought, oh, she's done fighting, she's just going to do this interview thing, she's turning a chapter. And
well, no, I figured it was just a side thing. When I said trading in the gloves, I just meant for that moment, you're not wearing gloves. You wouldn't be wearing your gloves in the interview, right? So
no, it depends on what kind of interview, I guess.
Yes.
No, but a lot of people did think that I was, kind of throwing in the towel when it came to fighting and going into the media aspect, which is not true. But yeah. So to answer your question, what prompted it? I mean, it's just been something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. My degree is in communications. I was the editor of my newspaper for junior and senior year of college. And then I kind of realized a little too late that newspaper was a dying medium and that I should have studied broadcast, on air, television, TV, anything, film. So I'm kind of just preparing for life after, the octagon. And I would love to be in front of the camera, either giving post-fight interviews, anything MMA related. It doesn't even have to be in front of the camera, honestly. I like the media aspect. I want to stay in the sport. And I like everything about it. I like getting to know fighters or coaches or anyone involved, whoever I'm interviewing. You have to do your research, so you get to know them on that level. And then you compile all these questions just like you're doing right now. And, you want to, then you have to edit it. Like, I'm a one-woman show. So, I research, compile the questions, interview them on my little crappy camera here that you can see. And then I go home and I edit it all in my little iMovie and I post it on my YouTube channel.
Exactly. So you're going to be taking my job soon enough because I pretty much do the exact same thing. But no, it's really cool to see because, obviously, we watch you fight, and then to see that other side of you, I think is really awesome. Was there anyone that you kind of modeled yourself after? Like, maybe when you were growing up, was there any like broadcasters or sportscasters that you were kind of like, hey, I wish I could be like them?
So this is going to sound like a jock thing, but I really went to college to wrestle. And along the way, they're like, you got to study something. So I was like, all right, give me the major with the least amount of math because I hate math.
I'm the same way. That's why I took communications too. But anyways,
yeah, they're like, that's communications. And so I was like, all right, sign me up for communications. And, I was undeclared for the first 2 years. Like a lot of people, I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And finally I found newspaper. And I thought, okay, I want to go overseas. I don't want to do the hard-hitting journalism. I want to maybe go undercover, be, an investigative journalist, like real news, no puff pieces, that kind of stuff. I did some sports pieces in college, but I was like, it's all right. So it was just kind of like, a lot of times with sports, you're just kind of like, what's the word? You're just kind of telling everybody what happened, so it seemed kind of boring. So, but I don't know. So fast forward, I graduated college and I thought I'm going to be a reporter. And then it was just during the recession, and I just got, it was just really hard to find a job. So I kind of stopped. I fell into MMA, and just after that last fight, a lot of things happened, and I just started thinking about my life after fighting. And I realized, like, why not now? Why not be proactive and kind of start building my online resume, I guess, if you will. And so when I was younger, to answer your question, I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to be on camera. I didn't really care about media and all that. I wanted to be a veterinarian when I was younger, actually. Have always loved animals. I became a vegan, surprise, surprise, because I love animals, among other reasons. But yeah, no, I never wanted to do any kind of on-camera stuff, but I realize now that it mixes my love for the sport and my love of getting to know people and talking, and a little bit of research and the question part, but just getting to know people and you get to step into their lives for 2 seconds, and that's awesome.
Do you ever get nervous at all? Because it doesn't seem like it. You seem pretty comfortable when you're talking to your subjects.
No, I've never been nervous, and I've actually been very, very fortunate enough to interview some really high-level, high-profile, big names. And, they're people like you and me, and I don't get nervous, and I feel comfortable. I feel comfortable in front of the camera. It's no pressure because it's just my little YouTube channel also. If I was working for Fox or the UFC, I might get a little nervous, there's something on the line and then that, but no nerves.
Have you talked to the UFC about that? Because they seem pretty good about, pushing fighters in front of the camera.
I have not. Right now, obviously, my main focus is fighting. And, I hate to say this, but, nobody really wants to talk to you, even if you're not a winner. You win fights. So for me, I want to win fights for many reasons. But another reason number 27 is, let's say when I'm done fighting, I do get on camera. They're going to want to see, oh, Ashlee, she had the record, or she did this, she won the belt. Now they want to listen to me talk even more. They don't want to listen to someone talk that's, like a 50-50 fighter or, got cut or lost a lot of fights, So I want to win my fights for many reasons, but the media aspect is another reason. So I haven't approached them. I just feel like I'm not worthy yet, and I need to kind of put the work in on the inside the octagon and outside doing the media stuff. So maybe someday I'll approach them.
You referenced the fight with Sarah Morris. Obviously, things didn't go your way in that one at UFC 215. What do you sort of take away from that performance? Was it just you made a mistake and you got caught?
Yeah, definitely made a mistake. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You persevere. That's the whole thing.
I'm usually very good at sticking to the game plan and listening to my coaches, but I guess I just kind of got caught up in the moment, made the wrong decisions, and I won't make any excuses, but mentally I had a couple things going on during that fight camp, and I never used to think that the mental aspect was that big. At the end of the day, you know how to fight, and regardless of your mental state, you kind of you still know how to fight. But this fight proved to me that your mental, like what you go through in the fight camp, and mentally and emotionally, really plays a factor in the actual fight. So I learned a lesson, I made a mistake, and I hate the fact that I lost to her because I really do believe I'm a better fighter than her. She won on that night, but I feel like 9 out of 10 times I would win that fight, but yeah, whatever.
Did you know after that fight you were going to drop to flyweight?
No, I didn't actually, but the outcome of that fight is actually the reason that I dropped to flyweight, and I'll explain. So when she armbarred me, and I tapped a little too late because I'm a stubborn jerk, and I tore some tendons, like a little worse than some pulled muscles. So I ended up getting PRP. You know what PRP is?
I do not know. Enlighten me.
It's called stands for plasma-rich platelets, and it's just basically your own blood, and they take it out. This car, someone.
I know someone's. They're getting robbed right now. For all we know, I don't know what's going on here.
There's a green Mustang and whatever.
It's
Vegas.
all good. Yeah.
So killing me. Okay. So I had to get the PRP, which is basically they take out your own blood, they spin it, and the plasma is separated, and they put your plasma back into your arm or whatever body part, and it just promotes healing of your own body. So it's very natural. It sounds like blood doping, but it's not. A lot of people confuse it, and the UFC actually pays for it now.
Oh, cool.
So
okay.
I took advantage of that. Thank God it's done.
Yeah.
Okay. I took advantage of that, but while it's healing, you have to do nothing for, I think it was 3 weeks, so it ended up being like a month basically, or something like that. So I was so nervous about gaining weight that I was more strict on my diet when I was injured than I ever had been when I was in fight camp, realistically. And so I ended up walking around at like just the lowest weight I've ever walked around in my life. And I used to fight 45s, then I dropped down to 35s, and I was waking up so light thinking, at one point I could probably huck a loogie and make 35. So I was like, I'm going to give this 25 division a shot. And I saw what the final factor was, I saw the Roxanne Modafferi and the champ now. I'm sorry. It's very disrespectful. But
Nico Montano.
Nico. And I saw that fight and I thought it. I didn't say anything, but then a lot of people came up to me and were like, dude, if you go down to 25s, it's a very open division. Knowing that a lot of people were going to come down, a lot of women were going to come down from 35 and up from 15s. But I just, it's a challenge. I've always made weight. I will always make weight. It's an open division. I feel like I'm kind of a voluptuous 135er, so I could use to cut a little weight. And and I'm doing it the right way, so why not?
Awesome. Let's talk about Bec Rawlings. How do you feel like you match up against her? She's got the 7-7 record.
Is she 7-7? Yikes. I mean, she has a few more fights than me, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I always take my high school wrestling and my college wrestling competition into play because I just been competing for a very long time. I don't know what she did before her fight career, but even, I get nervous, but I just, it's just another night for me realistically. And I think that our matchup is good. I don't think that she has any one discipline that's better than mine. She fancies herself a boxer, I believe. And, I think if we just boxed, I still think I'd outbox her. I'm a wrestler by background, but it's not like I don't work on my Muay Thai and my boxing. So I think, without trying to sound cocky, I am shocked that she actually took the fight against me. She's coming off 2 losses. I'm obviously going to be the bigger girl, probably going to be the stronger girl. I've never fought her, but I know some people that have. And I just think it's going to be a bad night for her. And I mean, I actually, this is probably the first time that I have a little bit of personal, not vendetta, but I'm actually personally invested in the fight. Usually I just don't give a F, whoever they match me up, I'm like, all right, let's go. But, I really just don't like the girl that much at all. So
what about her don't you like, just out of curiosity?
The biggest thing is that I feel like she's a really bad depiction and role model for women's MMA. I think she's raunchy, to put it like lightly, and that's the best word. I think she uses sexuality way too much. I've posted a few, risque pictures, but I think she overdoes it. I think it's shocking to me because she has, she has children too, and I feel like, for me, my nickname is Rebel Girl, and I would love to cuss all the time and post pictures that are kind of a little more risque, but I don't, because there's young girls and boys and even adults that look up to us. And I just take that into consideration, and I don't think she does at all. And if she does, she doesn't care. So I don't like her in that aspect because she's, in my opinion, given our sport, women's mixed martial arts, or even mixed martial arts in general, just a bad name. And she's kind of a shit talker. And a lot of times she can't back it up, which is embarrassing to me. Sometimes I want to talk trash. I'm like, ooh, but then I'm like, ooh, it's MMA. Anything could happen. Even though I feel 100% confident in this fight, like, I'm still not going to talk trash because I could fucking get spinning head kicked and then I'm going to look like a retard, So, yeah, that's just to put it, I guess, to boil it down. Yeah.
I was going to say, you summed that up pretty good. As far as training camp, who are going to be some of your main training partners for this camp ahead of this matchup?
I mean, it's pretty nice to have Carla as a friend and teammate since, she actually fought Bec.
Right.
And, man, I'm really messing up here. Sorry.
It's all good. You're holding it up. I appreciate it. Honking cars and everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, Carla's smaller than me, obviously, but, she's going to be very vital in the experience that she had with Bec. Granted, that was a while ago. Bec's hopefully, become a better fighter, and she's got more skills, and, she's not the same fighter. Hopefully for her, but we have tape to watch and all that. But I've got a lot of teammates that just possess good boxing skills. Bec's kind of a brawler, which I don't think you really need a specific kind of person for that. You can tell someone with good skills, like, hey, just brawl with me, I have a lot of good training partners. I wouldn't say like any one is better than the other one. They all possess interesting things. I think that Carla is going to be the best technically. But everybody else, yeah, they're all good. They're all good teammates.
Excellent. How do you see this fight unfolding on April 7th?
So I really, really feel like I'm going to get a finish. I feel like I'm just going to be so much stronger than her. You know, she comes forward a lot, and that's great. Like, I would love to tie up with this girl. I would even love to stay on the inside and box with her, you know. I like dirty boxing. I love, you know, I've fallen in love with elbows these days on the ground or standing against the cage. I just feel like two people that are coming forward and really want to fight. And with my power, I feel like it's going to be over in the first or second round. You know, if she lets me take her down, she's not getting up. Not let me take her down, but if, you know, when I take her down, basically, it's going to happen. You know, she's not going to be able to stuff my takedown. When I take her down, she's not going to get up. So she might run for the first round, but I don't think she's going to get out of the second round. First or second round finish, basically.
We just saw Ronda Rousey make the big move to pro wrestling. Is that something that would ever interest you at all, going into pro wrestling? You already got the broadcasting thing, but is wrestling something that would ever be on your radar?
So I used to think, like, hell no. But then I watched that TV show. It's called Tough Enough. And I was like, oh, man. And I really developed an appreciation and a little bit of, you know, like more respect for the wrestlers, because not only do you have to actually be a good athlete, learn how to fall, you know, these throws and these jumps off, you know, like, you have to be an actual athlete. It's not real wrestling like what I do, but it's interesting. You have to be an athlete. And then conversely, you have to be an entertainer. You know, you have to play this character. And I saw people that were great athletes not be able to act or to play this character, and they got booted. And some people were great actors, but they couldn't do a break fall to save their life. And so it's interesting, and I like acting. You know, I did it all through high school. I did it for a couple years in college. You know, what I do now in my interviews is not acting, but in a way, you know, like, you have to have this persona. You have to do certain things, you know. Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat, to be honest, because I can't fight forever. And, you know, I don't know if pro wrestling would be less taxing on my body. I want to say yes. I feel like I wouldn't have to train as hard, like in a fight camp, but in actual, like, you know, fight night, you know, I might get a little beat up. So yeah, and I'm sure the money's good too. So yes, I would do it. And I actually don't. A lot of people probably give Ronda shit, or some people, I don't know. She's probably gotten some shit from somebody, but they're dumb. You know, she's taking an opportunity, and, you know, good for her.
Good stuff. Do you follow wrestling at all, or is it just like, hey, you know, whatever?
No, I don't at all. I had a crush on The Rock when I was younger, you know.
Not anymore. He's actually gotten better looking as he's gotten older, no?
I know. I mean, yeah, I do. But I think my taste kind of changed as I got older. So, yeah. But no, and now I just like him because he's just a great person in general. You know, he's very, I follow him on Instagram. He's very motivational. He seems like a very, like, always happy-go-lucky guy, very positive. And I think that's awesome. You know, he's, you know, good actor, you know, but yeah.
Last question for you here. We talked off the top about doing interviews. Is there someone that you haven't interviewed that you really want to, that's sort of on the bucket list in the MMA world? We'll just stick with that.
So my YouTube channel is MMA based, and it's I've been very fortunate. It's like 90% fighters, but I've done some coaches. I actually have an USADA interview lined up next week, which is pretty awesome. You know, and I'm just trying to do anyone that's in the MMA community. So I'm really open to interviewing different aspects of the MMA world. And I don't have one person that I really want to interview. I'm just very open to interviewing, you know, not anybody, but, you know, people that are you know, important in the MMA world. Example, like today, I was at the Performance Institute, and I was a shy little girl, and I'm going to ask him tomorrow, and he might say yes, but I took a picture with Forrest Griffith, and I got a little nervous, and I was like, oh, ask him if he'll do an interview, ask him, you know, I'm there, I brought my camera equipment, you know, because who knows, but I weenied out, so, but yeah, no, I don't have one person I want to interview. I enjoy meeting, you know, everybody in the MMA world, and I'm having a good time doing it. That's why I do it too. I'm just, you know, I have fun doing it. It's easy. You know, the editing part, I'm still learning. So if you guys watch my videos, don't be too harsh on me. I'm teaching myself pretty much. And hopefully UFC or Fox, they see me and they're like, we want her, you know?
There you go. Good stuff. Well, in the meantime, everyone's got to check out this fight. It's UFC 223 coming up here April 7th. Ashlee, this was a lot of fun. I really appreciate the time, especially the, you know, on the street and everything. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, where they can find your YouTube channel, and any sponsors, anything like that. The floor is yours.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. It's pretty much what I do on my little interviews too. So you can find me all across the board, Twitter, Instagram, all that. It's Ashlee, Ashlee, MMA. So yeah, just Ashlee MMA. And then, what was the other question?
Oh, sponsors, anything like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a lot of cool sponsors right now. I've got MRM, they're my supplement sponsor. Underground Meal Prep are helping me make this cut to 125. Bite Me Mouth Guards, OC Fight Doc, keep us, me, Carla, all the OC fighters in good shape because we get banged up, obviously. I'm going to forget some people. Oh, no. Yeah, shoot. I don't know. But yeah, all my sponsors, if you see this, sorry I forgot you. Thank you so much. And yeah, there was something else you said.
Oh, it's just any thank yous, anything like that. If you were to thank anyone, I don't know.
That's it. I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah, all my
cool.
coaches, I fight for Classic Fight Team, Raw Talent Boxing, and 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. And thank you to all my coaches and my training partners. We've got another 6 weeks of training. And yeah, that's about it.